Guys, Willie here with W.T.F Car Reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing the all-new 2024 Mazda CX-30 Carbon Turbo.
And a big thanks to OJ at Furman Mazda in Tampa, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to our inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car or SUV in the Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out, and ask for OJ.
And for those of you guys who don't know, the CX-30 is a 4th gen Mazda 3 based subcompact crossover SUV sold by Mazda since 2020. For 2024, the CX-30 gains a new carbon turbo trim that you see here. The previous Select trim is now the Select Sport, coming standard with nicer black wheels, black exterior accents, faux leather seats, and dual zone automatic climate control. The Select Sport also gets an exclusive ceramic metallic paint color, and the turbo models get an available 10.3-inch infotainment display. There are 8 trims for the 2024 Mazda CX-30, 3 turbo models and 5 non-turbo models. The carbon turbo that you see here is the cheapest way into a turbocharged Mazda SUV with a $32,750 base price. What else do we get for that money? Let's jump right in. So first thing we notice is this beautiful zircon sand metallic paint color. It really pops in this Florida sun. We get full LED headlamps, LED daytime running light, and an LED projector for the high and low beam. I apologize for the dirty paint color. The closest car wash here is like 5 to 10 minutes away, and I didn't want to take too much time of this vehicle being away from the dealership or put too many miles on it. The Chevy dealership, they do have a detail department, but they only have a hose working right now. And if you hose off a car this dirty, it's just gonna be covered in watermarks. Behind the grille, we get active shutters, which helps out with the aerodynamics. Active shutters down below for the intercooler too. No front parking sensing or anything. It doesn't come standard on the Carbon Turbo. Got to go to the Top Premium Plus to get those features. I'm not the biggest fan of all this plastic cladding, but it does protect this SUV if you do take it off-road in terms of like rock chips or sand scratches. The wheels, you get these black 18-inch rims with black lug nuts wrapped in Bridgestone Terenza all-season tires, dimensions being 215/55 R18, so similar to the Mazda 3 hatchback we just reviewed, but instead of the 45 series sidewall, we get 55 series sidewall, so the ride quality should be greatly improved. And we also have the all-wheel drive, which will help the traction tremendously, especially since we have a more powerful turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. We get black mirror caps, LED turn signal on them, blind spot monitoring on the glass. We get some shiny chrome for the bottom part of the window trim, black trim up top, aluminum roof rails, and a sunroof right up top. We get smart access for the driver and front passenger. Nothing out rear. We can hopefully take a quick look at this window sticker. I'm sorry if there's a lot of glare. For this 2024 Mazda CX-30 Carbon Turbo with the zircon sand metallic terracotta black interior, and the standard features, you guys can pause and take a look. Options, $225 for the black lug nuts and the black wheel locks, $165 for the cargo cover, $40 for the license plate frame, $135 for the rear bumper guard, which is stainless steel, totaling us out at $33,355 before a $1,375 destination, totaling us out at $34,730. So under $35,000, this is a loaded SUV. We'll see if it's spacious enough for the subcompact segment, but as far as the features and price, or features per dollar, this vehicle definitely gives you a lot. So since we have the turbocharged engine, premium fuel is recommended. If you don't do premium fuel, instead of the 250 horsepower, 320 pound-feet of torque, you drop down to a still healthy 227 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. We get full LED taillights, turn signals, and reverse lights, chrome CX-30 all-wheel drive badge in the corner, Mazda badge in the center, Skyactiv G Turbo in the right corner. LED third brake light, and I like the black contrast for the spoiler. We get dual exhaust tips too. And speaking of the dual exhaust tips, let's fire up this 2.5-liter turbo, and here she sounds. Alright guys, that was the sound of the turbocharged 2.5-liter 4-cylinder sold by Mazda for the 2024 CX-30 Carbon Turbo. And it sounds pretty good, cranking out a really healthy amount of power at 250 horsepower, 320 pound-feet of torque on premium fuel, dropping down to 227, 310 on regular fuel, enough to get this all-wheel drive SUV to get to 60. Under 6 seconds if you get a really good launch. Expect 0 to 60 to be in the lower 6-second range on average. What you see is basically what we get. We don't get hydraulic struts, so I'm holding the hood up with my arm. There's an aluminum stick connecting the two strut towers together, which will help the handling out quite a bit. We can drop the hood right down, walk around this 2024 CX-30 with the zircon sand metallic paint color. It is a beautiful paint color. Again, we get smart access for the driver and the front passenger. Hopefully you just saw it being demonstrated. We have soft touch up top, leather stitching beneath it with this orange contrast stitching, gushy soft leather for the middle, and a gushy soft leather armrest. We get 4-window auto-on touch, 4-way adjustable mirrors, very solid amount of storage. You'll stack 2 or 3 footlongs, and a 24-ounce to big gulp size cup holder. We don't get the Bose sound system here. You have to go up to the premium package to get that as a standard feature, but we have just about everything else you could possibly want or need. The seats here are also beautiful. It's the terracotta and black contrast, terracotta for the leather area and black suede insert for the center. Fully adjustable. You can adjust the lumbar, recline, drop, lift, and slide the front seats. Taking a step inside, we can really check it out. So foot on the brake, engine start stop, and everything fires right to life. But after coming out of the Mazda 3 hatchback that we just reviewed in this channel, this is just about the exact same front seat. Same steering wheel, very solid thickness, solid 10 and 2, 9 and 3 feels perfect. The horn area is rubberized, the horn itself, loud and aggressive. People should be definitely getting out of your way. We'll do a window check. We don't get dual panes, but it's a thick single pane of glass. Voice commands on the left side. You can hang up and answer your phone calls. Infotainment. You can adjust between this advanced safety feature screen, an analog digitally illuminated speedometer, and a drive information screen as well, right back to where we started. My personal favorite screen would be to leave it here with this analog digitally illuminated speedometer, 6,200 RPM tach. We have the coolant and fuel level on the right side. Volume and skip control too. On the right side, we have a radar cruise control and the adjustments for the cruise control right next to it. Auto headlamps, auto high beams, and auto rain sensing wipers, all very appreciated premium features. We get 2-person memory seats too. You can turn off the alerts for the 360 sense. Hill Trail Assist 2. We get some Alcantara for the center of this dashboard. Really premium look. We'll see how it holds up in the long term, but in the short term, it looks super premium with stitched leather for the actual top part of this dashboard. This is a premium looking trim. And remember, it's the cheapest way into a turbocharged Mazda SUV. The stocks also have a very satisfying click, trip computer, a little bit of aluminum outlining your air vents, and a touchscreen. It's a 10.25 inch. It's not the more upgraded screen that you get on the higher trims, but really not a big deal at all. The adjustments are all with this dial. We're now looking at the source list. Go back to the home screen. We have information, entertainment, communication, navigation, and overall settings. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as well. The navigation, you need the SD card to actually access it. And if you don't want to pay the $400 that Mazda charges you for the SD card, you can go on eBay or Amazon and get one for about 50 or 60 bucks. So my personal favorite screen to look at all times would just be this home screen. So we'll leave it there. Volume and skip adjustments, favorites. We have our electronic parking brake with auto hold and some subtle carbon fiber trim, which actually appears to be genuine right behind the dial for the infotainment. The dial has a navigation shortcut, music, and home. You can also return to the previous screen if you'd like. Sport mode, we'll check out sport and regular mode during this test drive. Gear selector controls a 6-speed automatic transmission. So I guess it's a plus side that we don't have a CVT, but please Mazda, we already have an 8-speed in the lineup with the CX-90. Drop that 8-speed into the rest of the lineup and it'll make these vehicles feel a lot more modern. I mentioned all these reasons to buy the Mazda CX-30. I think the only reason not to buy the Mazda CX-30 is the more dated transmission, but compared to the competition that has CVT, I definitely prefer this over that. We have a wireless charging pad, 2 cup holders. You'll fit 24-ounce bottles with no problem. Dual zone front climate control and heated front seats, hazards in the center. The armrest is gushy soft leather with red contrast stitching. The console space, it slides back and forth just like the Mazda 3, and it is super spacious just like the Mazda 3. You'll fit 8 to 10 12-ounce bottles in there. We have 2 USB-C ports and a 12-volt right next to it. We can shut the console right up. We also get leather stitch trim for where our knees will often hit. The glove box has 2 air vents right on top of it. It is damp, not lined with felt, but it's pretty spacious. You'll fit about 15-ish license plates in there, so definitely can't complain for a subcompact. The rear view mirror is basically frameless. It's not auto dimming. You got to pull this flappy thing to dim the mirror. We have LED interior lights, cool, and a sunroof. We can open it up Opens up pretty quickly. It goes inside of the roof, so it's not sticking out like a sore thumb. We'll see if it goes out any further. It does not. But to the end of the front row, into the second row, poke our way out of here. Beautiful day today in Tampa, Florida. Sunny and 71 degrees according to the CX-30. We'll shut the glass right up, leave the shade open so when we hop out back, you guys can see how much light is brought into the cabin. Sunglass holder too. And that's about it for the front seat of this 2024 Mazda CX-30 carbon turbo with this beautiful zircon sand metallic paint color and the beautiful terracotta and black contrasted seats. I'm not sure why the car locks the doors automatically after every time I exit, but we'll unlock the door. Up top, unlike the Mazda 3 we just reviewed in this channel, we just have hard plastic, but all leather for the center, gushy soft leather armrest, and an auto one touch rear window, aluminum door handle, speaker on the door panel, and these beautiful terracotta and black contrasted rear seats too. With solid bolstering even for the rear seat and the suede Alcantara inserts. I'm a little bit over 6 feet tall, sitting behind my seat settings, and I have about an inch, maybe 2 inches of knee room, so basically the same as the Mazda 3 hatchback. A little bit more headroom though. I have about an inch more headroom compared to the 3 hatchback. So that's a big reason on why you would want to go with the CX-30. So the Mazda 3, you're limited to about 6'1" to 6'2" passengers in the second row. With this CX-30, you can fit somebody 6'4", 6'5" back here. We also get air vents. It's a huge thumbs up. Mat pocket behind the passenger seat, nothing behind the driver. The center cubby, you got to jab your hand into it, but it's very gushy, soft armrest. Mazda gives you some of the softest armrests in the business. I know it's not something you really think about when you're looking at a spec sheet, comparing two vehicles to each other, but I promise you, the comfort here when it comes to armrests at least, Mazda knocked it out of the park with these beautiful terracotta and black contrasted seats. The comfort and look is definitely there, especially for the price point. So hopping out rear, check out the cargo space. You gotta press this button underneath the trunk. That's one feature we don't get. We don't have an electronically opening lift gate. But again, considering the other features that we get, you really do not need it, especially for basically a base turbocharged trim. The cargo space here is also a lot bigger than the 3 hatchback we just reviewed. You can easily fit a golf bag diagonally, drop the rear seats, 60-40 split, not expect you to fit up to 60-inch TV back here. So although there is a little bit more space, the floor is about the same compared to a Mazda 3 hatch. There isn't that much room for pets too, so if you have a dog that weighs more than 50 or 60 pounds, I wouldn't recommend putting them back here. It's a very easy step-in for them. My knee is about the same level as the step-in. It's just the overall headroom is a little bit cramped. So I'd recommend going up to like a Mazda CX-5 if you have a dog that's closer to like 70, 80 pounds or up. Secret storage, we could take a quick look. Probably just a spare tire. Yep, just a spare tire. A little bit of secret space outside of it. That's about it though, guys, for the cargo area. We can drop this trunk right down, walk around this 2024 CX-30 carbon turbo one more time. It is a beautiful SUV. For the sub $35,000 price point, even after options and destination charge, Mazda seriously knocked this vehicle out of the park. Performance-wise, let's take this 2024 CX-30 carbon turbo out for a drive and see what it's got. All right, guys, now we're just about seeing everything we need to see with the inside and outside of the all-new 2024 Mazda CX-30 carbon turbo. Let's take it out for a drive and see what it's got. My first impressions though, the steering feels very well weighted. Feels even better weighted compared to the 3 hatchback we just reviewed in this channel. Throttle feels sensitive. Ooh, a lot of low end torque with this turbo. It kind of reminds me a little bit of a Subaru turbocharged engine, like what you would get from a WRX. The way that it doesn't really have the most low end, but once you cross about 2,000, yeah, like right here, good torque. And crossing 4, it has another life too. That reminds me a little bit of like the Honda turbocharged engine. So it has a lot of similarities with a lot of different turbos, but at the end of the day, it has its own characteristic in the sense that for the money, you're not getting a better engine than this throughout any other vehicle in the segment. And let's demonstrate a little bit of that engine. About half throttle. Ooh. Oh, the gears are long though. They gotta update this transmission. I understand that once they do update the transmission, the vehicle is gonna be $2,000 to $3,000 more expensive at least, but it'll be worth it. It'll seriously wake this thing up through the turns. It feels planted. Ride quality is solid, and it's pretty quiet even when it hits the bumps. We'll throw it in right here a little quicker than we should. Ooh, there is some body roll, but it's very limited. It feels super sporty, almost like something you get from BMW. Feels a little bit like an X1. The ride quality feels a little bit jumpier than an X1, but it's very close, surprisingly close for what it is. We'll try out an acceleration off the line. We'll throw it into sport mode, off the line, on the gas. Boost, ooh. 5,000 RPM shift, and about 5,500 RPM into third gear. So it feels very strong. I can see 0 to 60 happening in the low 6-second range. I believe I've seen 5.9 somewhere, but don't expect 5.9 consistently. You'll probably be around 6.2-ish consistently through the turn. Nice, solid, and planted. And I like that rumble you get in that lower range of this 2.5 liter. That's what I mean when I say it reminds me a little bit of a Subaru power plant. And in sport mode, the throttle definitely gets more sensitive. The steering, I'm not sure if the steering gets any heavier, because in normal mode the steering still feels really good, but the throttle is a noticeable improvement, whatever you like to call it. It's just definitely more sensitive. We'll take it out of sport mode. Hopefully you get the idea. We'll hop out onto a multiple lane highway, open this thing up a little bit more, and I'll catch back with you in 1 second. All right, guys, taking a step out here on the gas. Woo! Oh, you look down and you are flying. And at higher speeds, you're starting to hear a little bit of wind noise. Definitely not a lot, especially not for the price point. The road noise stays super quiet with these Bridgestone Turenza tires. Those are high quality tires for the segment too. So Mazda really didn't cheap out on anything with this vehicle. You have a top-notch interior, great styling in the exterior, solid space for somebody 6'4"-ish or less. So overall, guys, if you're looking for a compact to subcompact SUV, I would definitely recommend checking out the 2024 CX-30. And this carbon turbo now being the cheapest way into a turbocharged Mazda SUV, you get a ton for the money. I really think this might be the best dollar per dollar SUV on the road today. And if that's what you're looking for, guys, I would definitely recommend checking out the 2024 Mazda CX-30. Check out the carbon turbo if you're looking for the cheapest way into the turbo. You can get the premium or the premium plus if you want all the crazy options and features. But at that point, you start to see a little bit of value in other competitors. At this sub $33,000 price point, I really don't see how this thing can be beat. And a big thanks to OJ at Furman Mazda in Tampa, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to our inventory below. And if you're looking for a new car SUV in the Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out and ask for OJ. And huge thanks to all of you for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know the channel is just not possible without you, and I really appreciate the constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too. It really helps me out, the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment, let me know what you like, let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment, let me know if there's any specific cars, SUVs, or trucks you want to see reviewed on this channel, and I'll definitely try getting those videos for you ASAP. But other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.